we are talking about the biggest news that came out of this week, the Fantastic Four casting announcements was today via Marvel's Instagram, or it was their social medias. I saw it on Instagram, but I think it was everywhere. So, if you haven't heard who's who, we'll quickly list them off for you. If I butcher names, I'm very sorry. Playing Reed Richards, we got Pedro Pascal. That was kind of semi-confirmed through insiders a couple months ago. We have Vanessa Kirby playing Sue Storm. Vanessa Kirby, known for I know her from Mission Impossible, the previous two movies. She's been in a couple of other things here and there. She was in Hobbs and Shaw. She was Jason Statham's sister in that movie. Mm-hmm. Then we have Ebon Moss.
She was in Napoleon?
Oh, yeah, she was in Napoleon, I think.
Oh, yeah.
We have Ebon Moss Batrac. I probably butchered that name, and I'm so sorry. He's in The Bear. He's in a couple of different things that I personally don't know. But from what I saw online, people were excited about him. And then last but not... Oh, and he's playing The Thing.
He was in The Punisher.
Really? Who was he?
He Microchip.
I can't remember that right now.
I'm never...
Yeah. Oh, was he?
Yes. Andor... And No Hard Feelings. That just came out with J-Wall.
Cool. Well, he's The Thing. And then last, Joseph Quinn playing Johnny Storm. He was in Eddie in Stranger Things in the last season. So very beloved character by a lot of people. That is your Fantastic Four. Along with that, a couple of things that we know are kind of set in stone and factual. We got a new updated logo. We're going to be talking about all this. We're just quick rundown. We did get a new logo, and it has the release date of the Thunderbolts, their old release date. So it's gone from May 2nd to now July 25th of 2025, 2 weeks after Superman Legacy. Director is Matt Shankman, who directed WandaVision. And the script is being done by 3 people. Josh Friedman, who did Avatar Way of Water, is his highest, biggest accredited role. And then Jeff Kaplan and Ian Springer, who have been attached to the movie for quite some time, it seems. They seem to be more new when it comes to screenwriting. I tried to look up their IMDb, but couldn't find much that wasn't indie stuff that I don't think a lot of people have heard about. So, Spider Brando, how do you feel about this cast? When you saw this morning, how did you feel? And I was going to say, while we're at it, how do you feel about the way it was announced?
I'm not happy with the way it was announced, but it's cool that we finally got a freaking announcement and not having to wait till the summer or a later time for a big ass event. And I like the casting. I mean, we knew about Pedro for a couple months. Everybody else that was rumored was pretty accurate, except for Joseph Quinn, I think. I don't remember hearing much about him as Johnny.
I think his name did come up a couple times.
I don't know. I might not have just been correlating Joseph Quinn to Eddie from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Every time I saw the name, I might not have thought much of it. But I like how, I guess just, I don't know, it's weird. Looking into it, I understand the type of post they did, but for Valentine's Day, I don't know, it just felt weird.
Yeah. It felt a little random. And I know for some people, they will like that. They'll be like, oh, yeah, seeing a random post on a random Wednesday is cool to, just kind of open up your social media and you see the official casting. And
Yeah.
I do like the fact it was a more like it was an art piece.
I do really like the
It,
art
it,
piece.
it is a really nice art piece. Look at that. Like that looks really nice.
It gives a very good, like, glimpse into the movie too,
It does. And
which is cool.
we'll get into some theories in a little bit, but I do like the art itself. It just feels like it's just too boring of an announcement.
Yeah.
Like this should have been an event in terms of feel. It didn't even have to be like like a Nintendo Direct or a Sony E3 type of
Yeah, it's like a
announcement.
special panel type thing.
Yeah. But it's just like, that's it? That's all we did? Like no one's talking about it. The actors didn't post about it. It's just kind of one of those, here it is, have fun. We'll see you hopefully when we show the suits or something else. Who knows,
Now, do you think something like they wanted to just, I guess, subvert expectations because they do want, like, I guess, the whole meetup of when they're all finally together at once to feel more special? Because right now, like you said, they haven't really been posting about it or like teasing much. Um, None of these actors I have in my head have really worked together in previous works. So I feel like knowing the cast and then seeing them like all together might have more of an impact.
That's a fair point. I haven't thought about it that way.
It just randomly came to my head right now. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
No, it's a good point. What my counter argument to that though is how special wouldn't it have been though to see them all for the first time with the casting announcement at a panel or an event? You
Oh,
know what I mean?
100% would have been more like hype.
Yeah. It's kind of like they're two sides of the same coin. Both work really well.
Yeah.
And I think Marvel just went with this way
I
first.
think they know they need the press as much press from this as they can, so they want to try to build up like just dropping the announcement and then trying to get them all together, book them all together for certain events and panels like costume announcements, maybe trailer or whatnot.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't
Really,
know.
really quick, I was going to say we have a quote from Lou here, who we asked him. We were talking about it in our Discord, and we asked him if he wanted to say anything about this announcement on the stream. We'd read it for him, but his quote says, "What a cheap and uneventful way to announce one of the most important MCU movies on the heels of the most viewed trailer in history." The MCU did not capitalize on that opportunity to deliver a knockout punch and inject god tier amounts of life back into the MCU, but we continue to trust the process and wait for the suits to be revealed next. End quote. And I have to agree. Like I said, it feels a little boring. I still think they ultimately got that god tier amount of hype because my whole timeline has been that the entire day.
With that F4 stuff, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that. I've been just my group chat's been going off. So many group chats going off with it, and just people that normally don't text me of like every day, but only text me when Marvel news drops, are all coming out today. So that's when you know this shit made waves.
Yeah. It made
But
waves.
still, should have been made even more waves.
It
Could have
should
been.
have. It really should have. And that's the unfortunate thing is that for as cool as this is, it could have been cooler. And my next question that I wanted to ask you, if you could have announced this, if you were in charge of making the announcement, how would you have done it? Do you have any ideas?
On the spot right now, besides like saying like Comic-Con, oh excuse me, or like a event like Comic-Con, I could see maybe like just like a random, not a random picture, but a random video that shows like the suits and like that just kind of like goes around the suits, like
Hmm.
kind of camera panned all around it until it gets to like the 4 on the logo and then zooms out to all of them at once. I think that would have been like a banger of like a trailer and a reveal.
Yeah, like a mini video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I,
like
I
at first you're like, oh my god, these are the suits. And then by the end of it, you're like, holy shit, we get the actors too.
Yeah.
Kind of like what Luce or did he say that in his quote? I know I had read that somewhere. He said something similar to that. How he would do it on Discord.
Yeah. I'll read his quote. He said, "Without suits ready, which really should have been done. To be honest, I agree." He said, "Kevin Feige from his mansion announces them. Marvel Studios graphics team makes it spicy with mock-up suits, which they probably have. Very true. Uh, not hand-drawn art of the characters, and he gives us insight on the starting phase of the movie and drops its release date. 2 minutes maximum. Done." Which
Yeah,
I
like
can
that.
agree with up to a point. Yeah.
Especially coming from Feige. That's something that we need more of. Like we've always been saying this the past couple weeks. So we need more Feige interaction and confirmations and stuff.
Yeah. I
I
agree.
mean, we got that Deadpool and Wolverine from him hat the other day. Not the other day. That one award show he had
Hmm.
wearing the Deadpool Wolverine logo early, so that was cool. But he should have definitely done F4,
Yeah.
been involved with that.
Yeah. I kind of have three quick ideas in terms of how I would have done it. If my personal top one was something we said a while ago, it was D23. I think D23 having that announcement would have been really good for them, especially
Oh
live,
yeah.
having all of them in person. That would have generated an unreal amount of hype, especially after coming off the heels of Deadpool, after like a month after the movie comes out. And that would have been perfect time to announce it. My next one would be kind of similar to Lou's, where it would be kind of a quick video on YouTube, and it doesn't even have to be Kevin Feige, it can be whoever, just saying who it is, or a video of them kind of like, the actors themselves saying who they are or coming in. I think
Mhm.
that would be cool. But if they wanted to stick to social media, I feel like they should have built it up a little bit over time. And what I mean is, we've known since, I'm trying to think back when we had that Pedro Pascal discussion, October, November ish, I want to say. It's been a
Mm,
minute, right?
I feel like around October, November.
Okay. So I
It's
feel
kind of
like I feel like what they should have done then is have Pedro post that this picture, the one that he has, but just his part, like just the Reed Richards.
oh.
And then a couple months later, you have Vanessa Kirby put, or not even Vanessa Kirby, you can have whoever is playing the Thing, you can have him on his social media post his part of the picture. Now you start generating hype because they're like, oh, snap, this is the same picture. the same style. So obviously,
Yeah.
this means that it's going to eventually connect somehow. Then another month passes by. You get Joseph Quinn posting his. Boom. You know, this is who I am. And again, they don't have to comment on anything. They just post it. That's it. And then you can leave Sue last and have people talk up, yo, who are they gonna have as Sue Storm? You that chatter would have been crazy. And then if you want to have done it still on Valentine's Day, because honestly, right now it feels like Valentine's Day is such a random time to put it. Leave Vanessa till the last bit, and then you have her complete the puzzle, and then Marvel posts the whole thing later. You build up so much hype for that with such minimal work. It's insane.
I like that. I really like that.
Yeah.
So to answer, it was November that we have potentially known about Pedro. Since Deadline had did that article, pretty
Yeah.
much confirming it. So, and then back then, like a week later, there was big rumors about the Ebon Moss being the thing, which came
Okay.
true. That's cool to see.
That is cool to
But
see.
yeah, since like November though, that would have fit right in with your plan.
Yeah, you just
You
reveal
had
them once a
months.
month.
Even just like imagine like they could have just done like a Christmas. They could have done like a Thanksgiving one of like one of the members with Thanksgiving background, another one with Christmas,
Oh, one
another
like
one
one with
with
New
like
Year.
New Year's.
Yeah, they could have played into the
Or
holiday theme
yeah.
if that's what they wanted. So man, I don't know. It just feels like they could have done cooler stuff. And even if they wanted to do a video, um, something that I remembered from Deadpool's announcement, you just had Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds, and then just casually being like, "Hey, Hugh Jackman, want to make a Wolverine movie?" And he was like, "Sure." In the background, and look at the hype that generated for months. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it could have been better, man. It could have been better. It should have been better.
But at least we got something and we could officially theorize where we want to see these or what we want to see out of these actors and actresses. We've all been tired of speculating all these rumors for month
Yeah,
after month, and they delivered two
yeah,
of our wants within the same week
yeah.
with the
Agreed.
Deadpool trailer and this. So hopefully now that they got this hype out the way, they're back to cooking up some more hype to
I,
generate.
I think so. I think so. But let's cook up our own hype. Let's start theorizing a little bit. We'll get into light theories because we do want our third. We want Lou to be here because this is a team that I know he feels very passionately about. So, but let's just kind of lightly, based off what we know, based off the pictures or the picture that we have, uh, let's theorize a second, right? And we can also throw in the graphics change or the logo change because the logo change is also a part of that. So,
Mm-hmm.
Spider Brando, what theory do you have? The popular theory online right now is that this is going to be set in the 60s, mainly because of the magazine that the thing is reading is a one that resembles, I think, one with Nixon on it. Um, and the vibe of the post, the art.
Yeah, the whole art style just screams like 60s. Even their uniforms that they're wearing, their costumes, shirts, whatever with the four, just looks like even like what the thing is wearing with the cuff jeans just look like the styles from the 60s. And not even just like the 60s in real life, but like what people were dressing up as in like 60s comic books and stuff like that. So it's definitely going to be in the 60s, 70s. I don't know. Some older thing. And that leads into some more theories of where the heck they've been all this time and how will they tie into the current MCU. Which I don't know. Probably some quantum realm space travel stuff that we have theorized in the past of getting stuck in the quantum realm potentially, getting stuck just off space and maybe seeing some Eternals out in the cosmic. This movie could do freaking anything, but it's got to be good because it's got competition and Marvel's first family, as they highlighted in their own post today.
Yeah. I do kind of agree with it being set in an older time frame. The only challenge that it has is that how do you write that off for Marvel? Where you'd feel like a team of superhumans back in the 60s would have been talked about at some point or referenced at some point, especially if they own things like the Baxter Building and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And there are these 4 astronauts that go out into space and then get powers. Like that's something you would hear about.
100%.
That's the only thing that I kind of foresee being a problem, but I would love to see how they write around that. I will also say it does feel like especially with the logo change, because the logo change seemed very futuristic when it came down to it. Like the design felt sleek and like future focused. This new one definitely feels like it's let's go back to the good old days type thing.
Yep. Just the font, the whole font, the Marvel logo.
Yeah.
Just screams good old days.
It's giving me the vibes that WandaVision gave a little bit at first, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
I guess we excited that Shackman is working on this.
And I will say it's a very Shackman thing. If he has I don't know if he has any type of say in this, but I feel like, this is it's a good way to start building up hype. But I think what they need to do next, and I guess this is in a way a theory, we need suits. We need suits next. We need a concept art. We need something of them in their suits. The best bet, if this is a really good live action suit, make them come out at D23 with the suits on.
Oh.
It's worked before. It worked with High Evolutionary. It worked with Loki. It's worked so many other times. Have them come out in their suits in person. And the hype that would generate, man, because especially if they look good, get ready.
That would be beautiful. Extremely, extremely beautiful.
Fantastic Four. I'm excited. I'm glad we got it. It's not in the way that I think we wanted. And I don't think it's in the way that it needed, particularly. But I'm still excited, and I hope we don't have to wait too long to hear something again about Fantastic Four.